Hello, my name is James Williamson, and I would like to introduce you to an exciting new strategy game, King's Row. King's Row is a poker board game that combines elements of chess, checkers, and poker into a uniquely different game. With King's Row, you are trying to develop the same kinds of poker hand in your King's Row as you would in real poker to win. When playing King's Row, both players can see the type of hand their opponent is trying to make and try to remove those game pieces from the game, which could prevent them from obtaining a better poker hand. Also during play, you may be prevented from making your first, second, and maybe third choice for a hand, causing you to try again and again to come up with another possible winning hand. What is truly unique about King's Row is it is the only game where a player can turn a potentially losing hand into a winning hand, because not only must a player be aware of the type of hand they are trying to make and the type of hand their opponent is trying to make, they must always be aware of their opponent playing giveaway. What is giveaway? A player may choose to play giveaway if they realize their opponent could end up having a better poker hand in their King's Row if the game goes on as normal. If a player realizes this at a time when they have a better hand in their King's Row than their opponent, and if this player can cause all his remaining game pieces to be jumped before his opponent can fill up their King's Row with winning pieces, the potential loser can become the winner by having a better hand when the game ends. So, what are the ways in which the game can end? When one or both players fill up their King's Row, when a player has no more moves they can make, when a player has no more chips they can move, when a player concedes because they realize there is no way they can make a better poker hand than their opponent. Presently, there are tens if not hundreds of variations of chess, checkers, or poker out there, but there is only one King's Row. So chess, checker, and poker players, as well as your normal board game players, are an enormous pool of potential players to draw from. King's Row is the brainchild of my father-in-law, James Earl Harris. James came up with the concept for the game, which at the time was meant to be played by 4 players. However, the board was the size of a tabletop and the rules were very confusing. So he asked me to see if I could refine the game. Not being a board game person, I hesitantly agreed. I mean, he was my father-in-law. After many months, I came up with a new game design and rule changes and concluded the best way for the game to be played was with just 2 players. But I also fell in love with the game and its potentials. However, up until a few months ago, the game was relatively forgotten. King's Row is over 25 years old. Now that sounds like a long time, 25 years. That said, it took over 1,400 years for chess and 5,000 years for checkers to be what they are today. Yes, checkers is much older than chess. During those 25 years, I did not just sit back and do nothing, because from time to time it would look like an opportunity to reintroduce the game was there, but it was always a matter of funding preventing the project from being implemented. Then a few months ago, my daughter and her friend found one of the 2 remaining games I had left and asked me to show them how to play it. They loved the game and I fell back in love with it. We were playing every day during this time, and it proved one of the elements about the game I had. It is easy to learn. Unlike chess, where only a player with years of experience would feel comfortable enough to compete with someone else with years of experience, within days my daughter was beating me regularly and even her boyfriend once. Because like real poker, if a player is dealt a good hand, you do not have to be a pro to win. And in King's Row, how your board is set up, which is different every time, can give you advantages, in which case the more skilled you are, the better your chances to overcome this possible advantage your opponent might have. I then took the game downtown one Sunday to see what reaction I would get. Many people stopped for a few to see what we were doing, But it was hard to get them to play because that was not their reason for being downtown. I understood I needed to do more to really hold their attention. This did, however, give me an idea on how to promote the game in the future. To prove that once a person played the game, they would love it, I took the game to work to see if there would be any interest. It took a while, and I got responses like I play chess, to which I said that my game would be easy to learn. It was not until my store manager, who did not know chess or how to play poker, showed interest and wanted to play me, that now everyone enjoys playing the game. Like me initially, my manager was not a game person, but now says this is the first game he really enjoys playing, and he wants to play every time there's a slow period at work. This is how I came up with the idea for the videos. My daughters also talked me into the idea of not trying to do everything at once. In my proposal for the game, there are different components. A digital version which can be downloaded to a player's phone, computer, laptop, or tablet, an actual board game version, tournaments both online and face-to-face, just to name a few of the major components. But none of these matters if the game is not out there in some format for people to decide if they even like the game. Therefore, over the next week or two, I plan to put out a video every day or so showing my playing the game with some of my coworkers. I did not record every game, only those I thought were entertaining and would allow a potential player to not only see how the game was played, but also see the mistakes players made, even myself, and see how they might have moved their pieces differently. I believe a person watching some or all of these videos would be able to compete in no time against another player. My hope is people will take the time to watch the videos and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down and tell me what they think. Let me know if you would like to see Kings Row out there in the marketplace, and if so, how likely would you be to want to own the game in any of its formats?